guys. Wow, it's Acrylic Painting Monday. I'm Ginger Cook, and I want to welcome you to our fabulous holiday show. And well, I don't know that I believe it will be fabulous. I certainly hope it will be fabulous. We're going to intend fabulousness. And what else could there be? Yes. So we're going to be doing a really neat old-timey painting tonight, taking a regular photograph and kind of making it more old-timey than just painting a photograph. We're going to show you a few little tricks on how to do that. And this will be on a 12 by 12 canvas. And I think you're going to get this easily. I think that once I explain it, you're going to go, wow. One lady said one time, she said, I would do Ginger Cook's paintings, but they all seem so hard. But you know, when you watch them, when I break it down, it really just makes sense, doesn't it? So I think it's going to make sense to you. I want to welcome John Little, my significant other, and our helmsman over here that's operating all the cameras. Sometimes you will see him do some very unusual camera angles because when I'm bending over trying to do details, my head can get in the way, and there's physically nothing we can do about it, but he has a way of kind of showing it from the side. That is intentional, and that allows you to see every brushstroke, which is kind of neat. And it's a really elaborate setup that allows us to do that too. So let's, without spending a lot more time, remember, if you haven't subscribed, now's the time to do so before you start. And if you love us, let's have a holiday thumbs up. Woo-hoo! Yes and yes. And as I show you, wait till you see what we're going to paint. This is so cool. Well, particularly you guys that are watching this for the first time, because I've never painted this before either, and I just imagine we're going to be able to do it. We're going to experiment with this together, okay? So those of you who are watching this later goes, well, I saw what she painted. What's the big mystery? Well, if you catch us at the very beginning, of course it's a mystery. It's even a mystery to moi. Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay, John, let's go. All right.
Without further ado, we're on the floor.
On the floor. Well, I'm actually sitting on a table,
That's
not
true.
the floor.
You're not sitting on a table.
No, it's true. I'm sitting on a chair at a table. I love John. He's so precise, which is why he's able to do all the camera angles, because he really is a precise person. I'm just generally here. Oh, and I want to, and remind me to tell you about laughter later on.
Wait a minute. People have already noticed your wedding ring on your left hand.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
No, we're not married.
No, but we got the ring, and I decided I was going to wear it. Anyway. Got the ring like a few months.
You people are being a little too observant.
Okay, all right. So,
without further ado, again.
Technically in Texas, it counts.
That's true.
In Texas,
we are legally married because of common law down here.
In Texas, after 2 years, technically. I just felt like wearing it.
If everybody thinks you're married and you act married, you're married. That's how Texas does things.
Yeah, well, we don't want to get into how Texas does things because, I mean, mostly everybody else is horrified. But anyway, we're going to just not digress into that subject, and because I'll tell you what, during COVID, I just was not comfortable planning any kind of wedding for myself or anybody else because I just felt like, and I still feel like that it's too risky for people.
It was not safe out there.
Not safe out there. I mean, I'm willing to go out and venture my own little life, but I'm not willing to venture yours at that point, you know?
In Canada, after 3 months, you are entitled.
Oh, interesting. Well, back to this. This is a 12 by 12 canvas, a little bit bigger than we normally do for YouTube, but I wanted, pine cones throw people off. Their shape and everything just befuddles them. And so I wanted to make this large enough so you could really understand when you look at this. Oh gosh, I can't paint those. Wait till I explain this. It's going to be really good. Yeah. Again, the thumbs up. Yes, explain it, Ginger. Woohoo! Okay, so we've got this 12 by 12 canvas, and it was originally yellow, and then we used this. We bought so much of this Daniel Smith stuff last year. This gold gesso. I mean, look at that. We've done all these paintings. We probably have. I got to show you guys. We probably have at least over almost 2/3 of a jar left. Can you see that?
Yeah, so
and it, even though it's expensive, it's wildly expensive.
Well, it's real gold.
It's real gold, but it's nice. And if you didn't have it, we're going to cover it all up anyway. I just felt like using it, right? So you could just do yellow. It'd probably be fine, okay?
And that's bad yellow.
Yeah, so I'm going to put that down. And I've got, this is what we want to paint with this sort of pinecone birch, because I thought this would be a very nice holiday picture, kind of a wintry picture. You could start maybe even soon as in November putting this up if you or earlier, then maybe clear through at least through February, don't you think? You could leave this up. Doesn't necessarily say Christmas. It just says
Well, you
winter.
take it down and when it's time to do your
It's time for flowers and stuff, right?
yeah.
But that's the great thing about being an artist, see, because what happens is that you change your art out for the season. Most people buy a painting and they're stuck with that. Grandma had it and his mother had it. Now you're stuck with it. You don't really like it. Doesn't match the furniture, but you're stuck with this thing because somebody in the family painted it. And when you're an artist, man, you can just give all those paintings away that you never wanted anyway and do your own thing. And it's great fun. Or just buy one of my originals. That's good too. I like that. All right. So all right, so here we go. So what I want to do first, I've got some leftover paint. We're green here. Well, I'm not physically green, but we're going to be green here with the paint. I've got some titanium white, some zinc white. I've got some phthalo green, some phthalo blue, some ultramarine blue, some burnt sienna, some burnt umber. This is yellow deep. I don't know if I'll even use it. This is some cad orange light. This is some cad orange. This is cad yellow medium, yellow oxide, raw sienna, cad red medium. I think that one of those might be purple. Hard to know. Well, we'll find out, won't we?
No, we might say that palette's about 3 weeks old.
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks old, but I'm telling you what, this is so fun. I love these Stay Wet palettes. They're so fun to use. We're going to take a big brush. And we're going to start doing some antique stuff in the sense that we're trying to make this old. So I'm going to dampen the brush. And then I'm going to wipe the excess moisture out of it like that. And we're going to start with some white. And I have a little paper plate here so I can kind of get the mixture. It's going to be like 99% white. I'm pretty sure about that. And it's going to be a little bit of this gold color. And a little bit of this. Let's do a little bit of ultramarine blue. Let's see what I got here. That's not bad. Maybe a little bit of phthalo green, just a drop or two of that.
That looks like an old color already.
Yeah, see, kind of an old-timey color. Doesn't that look kind of old-timey to you? Yes. And why is that? It's because the yellow oxide has a bit of red in it, and red will kind of tone back green because it's the complement of itself on the color wheel. So let's just come on in here like this. And let's start our starburst section. I'm not trying to, some of the gold shows through. That's great. I'm not just going to come this way. And this brush is a, what is this, John? What do you think this 3/4 inch ruby satin silver brush? But if you have any kind of a wide brush, maybe even a bright brush, that would work. When we talk about bright, we're not talking about how smart your brush is. We're talking about with the shape. Bright brushes are generally squared off. All right, now you see I've kind of used up my magnificent color, but let's just do it again because we'll all remember that, right? Let's do it again. I want to welcome our moderators who are here tonight. Who's here tonight, right, John?
We have Steffi and Liz 2, Liz C2, and Judy and Liz 1, and I'm looking to see if I see Lynn or Luann.
Right. Now, what I'm going to ask everybody in the chat, I know everybody's excited about the holidays and all the weird stuff coming up, and you just have to listen to the news and go a bit crazy, right? So what I'm going to ask is, so let's focus on art stuff tonight, right? And I know a lot of interesting things are happening to everybody, but we get a little divergent here. So let's keep the chat to the paints and what we're doing and paint questions. And if you have a serious question, I'm going to take a little bit of this, a little bit of this yellow oxide color. And don't want this all the same color. See, like that? If you have some sort of serious question like that, why, that's fine. We'll answer that. It's some of our mods may know the answer. It doesn't have to be strictly moi. That would be me again. I love it when I talk French. And then, just
oh,
so
me
silly.
too.
And then,
reminds me of Morticia.
Yeah, Morticia. Yeah, Morticia. Yeah, absolutely, Morticia. Now, do you see how we're doing that? You see a little of that gold showing through, but we've got the
speaking of gold, Tracy would like to know, does your gold gesso keep its brilliance over time?
I have no idea.
Well, seeing how it's real gold, the question would be yes.
Probably it does. Probably yes, but you know, I mean, you got to ask the manufacturer these things. But it's a good question.
I would believe it would.
There's a very, very famous artist. She lives in Houston. She's actually English, so she lives in England sometimes, mostly, and then she lives here. Although why she picked here, I don't know. And she could live all the time in England, but she did, and she does. And she's like the artist that does Kentucky Derby horses. They want her every year. She does the Kentucky Derby horses. They're excellent. But this is what's known as a specialized art when you're like, she's what we call an equine artist. She's probably paints other stuff too, but she's really good at this. And she divulged, I don't know, many years ago to me and some others that were hanging out at the art store one day that she only uses, all her paintings are covered first with the gold and then she paints whatever. And it seems to work for her. So if you did end up buying a big jar of this Daniel Smith stuff, the gold gesso, just because I'm using yellow, be a little bold, try something different. What would happen? I don't know. So, all right. So you see, that's all I've got right there. Now,
Terry would like to know how many coats of the gold do you have on there? I bought a different brand and it's quite thin. It is very thin. This has two thin coats.
All right, so that's all I'm going to do there for now.
It's a beautiful job.
So that's it. I mean, there's
painting's done. Hey, we hope everybody enjoyed tonight.
I want to dry that. So perhaps, John, I can let that sit while you're figuring out how to dry. I want to show something really quick. I know this is show and tell. We're going to be giving away tonight from the 2 weeks ago. We're going to do a drawing for the for Salvador Paint Kit and for a downloadable lesson. Okay, and we're going to really wonderful. We're going to give you a dollar amount for your downloadable lesson, so that you'll have a chance to maybe pick something.
Pick one you want.
You can pick one you want. I'd like to pick for you, but then I don't know your painting skills, and maybe something you got would be, you think, oh my gosh, I'd never paint that in a million years. It's too hard, or my husband hates cats. I can't paint that. So we're going to let you pick your own. That being said, we're going to do that. And then we'll also do some sort of secret word at the end of the night that will be revealed at the end of the night.
Hey,
Yes.
We'd like to thank Eric for the donation that came in through Super Chat. Have a Merry Christmas, John and Ginger and Art family.
Oh, thank you very much, Eric. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. And we want to thank everybody. I wanted to show you some stuff. In our Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting, we have got some fabulous holiday paintings. Here is one, again, 12 by 12. And I've seen a few of these come back, and they're fabulous. If you ever want to know what my students are painting, if you go to my Pinterest, gingercooklive on Pinterest, and you go to 2021 student art and look at the different categories, you can't believe it. It's not me painting this. I paint them, but then the students are painting them. The people that take watch our videos and these more advanced lessons. Here's the really fun one with the hot chocolate that we've released, and very excited to talk about this one. Back in it, way out, John, with the candy.
The way out machine.
The way out machine. So look at that. I mean, isn't that just happy? Just makes you happy. And I think
that's a painting you can keep up year round. You
keep it up year round. It's a really cute kitchen, anywhere that you're eating food, little dinette, something like that, be fun. And you could really have a lot of fun with this. It doesn't have to be that big. You can even do it smaller, though I found it larger. Well, something with this much detail, the larger it is, a little bit easier to paint. You'd think it would be harder, but actually, when you start getting really small, it can be more of a challenge than if you go bigger. So there's a thought. Now, John, can I dry this while I'm waiting for you to? Are you ready to do a drawing real quick?
You want to start off with a drawing right now?
I want to dry this so I can. Well, I can probably do my next layer. Yeah, let's do one more layer and then I'll dry.
Okay.
Because I kind of let that sit there. All right. So now I want to put some yellow oxide on my brush and a little bit of that green color. Where'd that plate go? Here, something a little bit darker like this. We're going to do this little phthalo green and yellow oxide. Okay. With me like that, right? And a little bit put a little red in that, a little bit of orange, and there we go. That's it. Yeah, a little bit more green because that got a little muddy. You get too much red, it'll go muddy on you. And let's just come out here like this and just a little bit of our underpainting here like that, just to suggest that there's some stuff coming this way. You know, if you use an angle brush and you just do the toe and you lift it up, you push hard and then lift up, it's kind of neat. I tell you, this is one of those things that's going to look very complicated. And then you're going, man, that was so easy. I had no idea this would be so easy. I know. Just neat, isn't it? So there you go. It just doesn't have to be perfect. Don't sweat the small stuff. There you go. Ha!
It's already looking magnificent.
So, yeah, I think this is going to feel the really old-timey, much better than just an old photograph, you know? And this is the other thing. Let's talk about photographs for a minute, because there's a lot of you out there who, myself included, who look for photographs to paint. We all do. Either I take them myself or John takes them, or we find them, find them places. But the thing of it is that just because it's in the photograph doesn't mean you have to put it. Just write that down somewhere. You're not a historian. You're not doing documentaries for Reader's Digest or something. You know, what you're doing is creating a work of art, and this is why we call it a reference. Okay, so think that in mind. So we don't have to do it exactly like the photograph. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Now, that's layer 1. Now, layer 2 is similar to layer 1, only it's the second layer.
I don't see how that could possibly be.
You know why I'm laughing so much tonight? You guys
No, I have no idea.
Because somewhere in the world, a group of people have been told by their government that they're not allowed to laugh for 11 days. And I think we should all laugh to kind of make up for. They are killing the planet with that. Laughter is what keeps us all going. It makes the sun come up in the mornings. We've got a whole country that's been forbidden to laugh for 11 days.
11 days.
Memorial of some old dead guy that used to run the place. And some years ago, he passed away. It wasn't like he died yesterday either. But
no,
nonetheless,
I don't understand why they waited so long.
We're not going to mention who's who. You can look it up. But the thing of it is that, you tell a whole country not to laugh. This is really bad for the planet, because everywhere in the world, someone's laughing. And they're not doing their part. So we gotta make up for that. We're gonna laugh more. Yes and yes.
No laughing there.
Yeah.
Hey, what paint can one use instead of an antique white?
Well, antique white is it's a little bit kind of buff titanium, maybe with a little bit of yellow in it and some white. You could do maybe. You're gonna have to experiment around. We have that in our color mixing journal, by the way.
I would almost think of burnt sienna, wouldn't it?
Well, burnt sienna is going to go a little red on you. No.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got this kind of lighter color again, right? And I'm going to use the flat of my brush like this. And I'm going to tap that on. Now, you see what I'm doing here? I'm just tapping that on. I could have used a sponge too, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to,
No, we're in brush mode today.
Yeah, we're in brush mode. Just going to flatten this out like this in a few places. And we're just going to suggest.
Oh, someone asked, I don't remember who it was, what does the paint slip on the gold?
Doesn't seem to.
No.
I'll tell you, the worst thing I ever used for a painting one time was Van Dyke brown in the fluid, but nothing would stay on that. Everything slipped all over the place. All right, see what I'm doing here? I'm kind of keeping the brush flat and suggesting there might be, maybe there's some. This is our first layer of snow, and it's not totally white. You see, it's sort of an off-white. This is important to know because
shadows.
Because it's like the shadows of the white. Yes. When it's an echo of the white. When Cinnamon was little, my daughter, she was about 5, and she was getting over a cold. And I said, how are you feeling? And she says, better, but I still have the echoes. And I thought that was a perfect description of what was happening. And I think that what we're doing now is we're just doing the echoes of the snow here. We're going to do a little more of this in here. See, I've got some that's got a little bit bluer in it. Don't have to get the same color every time. But I tell you, this is going to be a fast painting. You're going to be, well, the pine cones are going to take a minute, but you know, and you can rotate this around. I think Cinnamon uses a Lazy Susan, just spins everything around. Probably a good idea. Speaking of Cinnamon, I will not be there for Christmas. So I wish, hope she has a wonderful Christmas. And of course I will tell her that. But I want to say I'm so excited. Those of you who have signed up for this fun gala workshop event in and hanging out with Cinnamon and me and painting and everything in May. So excited y'all coming. I know there's a few spots left. I hope someone gives it to you for Christmas. This is going to be epic. Yes and yes?
A good time will be had by all.
Yeah, absolutely epic. And and one thing I hope I hope, and I'll mention this to Cinnamon too, so I'm hoping that we can, that for instance, one of the things that I specialize in is personal art coaching. So for those of you who are coming, you may be able to bring photos of some stuff you're painting and where you are at it. And we can talk about maybe how ways you can improve it or what worked, or why the painting worked. Sometimes you'll get a painting and it's what Bob Ross calls a happy accident. The painting really works. You're not sure why. And you don't know if you could do it again. Someone will go, "Oh, that's so nice. Would you do that for me, please?" And you're thinking, "Oh, no, I can't do it again. This is just luck. I just lucked out. This is what happened. I can't do it again." We're going to talk about why it worked, too. Okay?
Do you know where Daniel Smith's gold gesso can be purchased?
I give up. Where?
We got ours at Jerry's.
We got ours at Jerry's Artorama, yeah.
Jerry's Artorama has it, and probably Dick Blick has it.
All right, so this marvelous background, it's got one more little layer here. I'm going to take some phthalo green. Have some somewhere here. Didn't I have some? Well, gosh, let's just take some phthalo blue and yellow then and make something similar. Yeah, some green. Here we go. Want something more blue anyway. All right, now a little bit of zinc white. Where'd that silly plate go? Here. There we go. See that sort of blue-green color? See that? Let's get more of that color. There, that color. See that? Blue-green. Let's see. Let me just turn this way because I want to flatten this. I'm going to hold this brush out here and flatten this like this. Up here like this. And get a little bit darker toward the center. And let's do we got that, and we got a nice shadow up here too, see? A nice little shadow up here. Good. Ooh, neat, right? Yes and yes. Neat. Maybe a little something over here. Let's just, we won't want it completely even. So anyway, I'm excited about
we're dead.
Stuff. Who's dead?
We're no longer broadcasting for whatever reason. Let's keep it going. It's coming and going. Internet issues.
Well, this isn't right.
No, chat's still going. We're going. We got a recording. We'll just put that up.
Can people see us? Are we talking to anybody?
Well, it hasn't come back on my computer. Let me see if they stopped. Nope, they stopped it. They ended it.
We're still recording?
We are still recording, but they ended the session. Screen finished because it dropped out too long.
Well, then what do we do? We're still painting it, right?
We're still painting and still recording it.
All right. Okay. I'm just going to add this. I'm just kind of layering this on here. And you're going to just, upload it later?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting lighter as I go, as I start getting into the outline of some of this. I'm getting a little lighter. Okay. See how we've got these different areas of light here. The brush is dirty, so it's not totally light. I'm going to come up here like this and just suggest something lighter up in here like this. Then I'm going to dry all this, and then we're going to put our pine cones on and finish this up. What do you think, you guys? Don't really like that, so let's do this.
I don't think I can do anything here.
Can you do anything?
I'm gonna try something.
Okay, I'm going to dry this while you're trying that.
Okay, wait just a half a second, and we can do that when we're gonna.
Sure.
cut it.
All right, let me wait just a half a second. You try something. A little
Okay.
yellow oxide here.
All right, go ahead and get ready to dry.
Okay, I'm going to just put a few little yellow oxide ones here like this with the brush.
You keep going. I'm not sure. I'm trying to get something to connect to it, and it's not going.
Just keep going here, huh?
Yeah, because we'll just have to upload it.
Okay, so now I've got I want the big pine cone kind of on the right, this big one here, and the smaller one in the middle. I'm going to tape that down. And you can get the traceables on our website, acrylicpaintingwithgingercook.com. You must be a orange member or above, or higher, a orange level member or above. That's $5.95 a month, but you don't have to join forever. Just join for a month or two. Most of our traceables are available from 2020 on there. Yeah, I've got that. Now let's see, what else was I doing? Oh yeah, I showed all this.
All right, a couple people have found the new feed.
Somebody found?
Yep. If you can share that link with anybody else out there, because we lost chat in the other room.
You know, I did something with that traceable paper, and I don't know where it is.
You had that blue one.
Yeah, I did have it blue. I don't think it blew on the floor. Where did I put it?
I don't see on the floor. I had it over on the left to you. Did you move it from there?
Don't know.
I'm not seeing it on the floor.
I don't see it on the floor. Don't see it. Don't know what happened to it. You gave it to me.
I did. Do you want me to hop out?
Well, let me see if I can. Let me see if anything's even going to work anyway. Where's the side up thing? This side up. Let's see if this will work here. I want to see if that's going to work.
Oh, that's white?
Well, I've got some blue here. See? So
okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. Let me just.
You know, I don't know. You're gonna look for it, right? Aren't you? I just want to
down there in the shelf, down in your rack.
Okay. Where?
Down, no, in the pull-out rack. To your left, the big pull-out rack right there. Go all the way down. The one below that one.
Oh yeah, so it is. Haha. Well, that wasn't the one, but it'll work.
Better than what you got, I think.
Well, I don't know, but I want to see if this. See, this is well. Let's just
well,
try.
You can use them both.
Try
I
this.
appreciate everybody finding it. What happened is we lost our internet connection. We were gone too long, and YouTube shuts off the feed if they don't get any data. So let us know if you can hear us and see us. And
we got to have a chat with Xfinity.
Who?
Xfinity. We need a serious chat with them. I'm really tired of them dropping us like that. The internet dropping is ridiculous. All right, let me see if this is even going to work. No, maybe. Yeah, okay.
Is it working?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. All right. What we'll end up doing is we're going to replace the live video with our recording because the recording kept going. So glad you found us. Anytime that happens, you can always go back to Ginger's home page of the YouTube and it'll say live right now. Right on the
Is anybody even still here?
Yeah, they're back. We're up to almost about 100 people now.
This was just easier to freehand in, I got to tell you. I'm not
Well,
really.
yeah, but I thought you wanted to have all the pine coning stuff and.
Well, I did, but you know what? It's not showing through enough to even where you can even see it.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So this is worthless. So because we got too much paint on there, so can't do it. There's way too much paint on this to be able to make this work. So this is called freehanding it in. That is step 2. It's
You
called
make
free.
you make a 2-line grid out of it?
No, I kind of know where everything is now, so I'm just
You
gonna.
have enough in there.
I have enough in here. Here's my first one, and here's my second little pine cone thingy. Okay, as we're coming up here like this.
If you have any technical issues, try refreshing or going back out and coming back in.
I'm gonna try a brown pasta pen so you could possibly see it. Yeah,
That'll work.
kind of. Let's. Well, in fairness, you got to shake these up for about a minute, and then pump them a little bit to get them going. So let's see if that did it. I got to put glasses on. You guys can't see a thing.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
Okay. So, what do we know about pine cones that you could find helpful, right? Is that they're little triangles.
I was going to say that same thing.
They're little triangles, and they're really cute. And they're just sort of almost like diamond shapes in a sense. And at the edges, they're not. So you've got a few. You just need a few shapes. You don't need every shape that ever was with that. But here you go.
We haven't done any drawings or anything as of yet.
No, have not done any drawings. Because we just lost internet.
Yeah.
Right?
Always something. Almost sound like it was raining out there. We're supposed to have rain today?
I give up, are we?
All
right, so there's pine cone 1. Okay, there he is. Now, pine cone 2 is fun because we're going to face him toward us. Well, one thing you can do is you can always do something upside down. We're going to face him toward us like this so that we can see the shape, right? And what do we know? We know that, for instance, this is up here like that. There's a little side piece here. Then we got another nice, these are sort of individual ones like that. They come here like that. And they're just, really, can you see the triangles? Once you see the triangles shapes, you can't unsee it. Okay. So there you go. We're going to say there's our triangle shapes. Yeah, once you put them in there, and these are sort of separated. So if you get them slightly different, maybe someone stepped on your pine cone. We don't know. Could have happened. Well, have you ever seen who's walking out there in the woods? Anybody could have stepped on your pine cone.
These look like they're still up in the tree. I'm just saying, who's walking on the trees?
Squirrels.
Oh, the big squirrels.
Yeah, the big elephant squirrels, those ones.
Yeah, I've seen those.
You've seen those, right?
They're nasty.
And it happens.
Absolutely.
And it's happened. If you ask anybody, it's happened. Yes?
No.
Okay, and I've got one here. It's going over in this corner. That's kind of in this shape, and it's kind of in this shape. And you just
kind of in the shadows.
Yeah, it's kind of in the shadows here. So here's our triangle things. We're just going to suggest a couple in the snow.
Now remember, we're going to replace this lesson once it's done with our recording. So it's going to be delayed probably a smidgen. So I'll have to put it back together.
All right, so there's one there. Yeah, yes, and yes. And then over here we've got one. That's a very nice one. These are shaped a little bit differently, but not so different that we couldn't put them in. Kind of, again, little chunky pine cones.
Well, he looks like a little different kind, didn't he?
Yes, as well,
He's
like
a short, little stubby guy.
Yes, I don't know, maybe he didn't get as much rain. I don't know. Something happened in his little neck of the woods but we're going to suggest him. And in the middle, see, like that. Doop, boop, doop. There, raggedy pine cone. And we got these in here, and then let's just do one up here like that. There you go. All right, so we got some pine cones. Yes and yes. And these are coming down, and this is coming down, and that's coming down, and that's dark in the center. And it works for me. Ha! Okay, so you guys are all with me on this? And we were talking about how fun it was going to be up at the
Poconos.
in the Poconos this May for Mother's Day and this workshop stuff. And you got to read about it. You go to the Art Sherpa website and read about it. And if
theartsherpa.com.
yeah, you want to read about that because it's really kind of neat, right? So let's take some dark color. Let's just take some burnt umber and a little ultramarine blue. And let's come in here like this. Maybe a little burnt sienna. There you go. I'm just going to put in my first layer of this little angle brush. Okay. You got to keep the sort of triangular shape going here.
You said that was burnt sienna and
burnt summer, ultramarine blue, and a little burnt umber.
nice color.
This is a pretty dark brown here. We'll have to put some highlights on top of it, but you want to start with your darker colors first and get your edges out here like that. And then what do we know for sure? Well, we know for sure that it's very dark here in the middle. So this is all in the center here. It's very dark where these all can meet. Yes. So it's all very dark here. And then we'll start out again, venturing out into the world of pine cones and little get some dark blue on that. It's not dark enough. Let's get some blue here. We need this darker in between here. There we go. I'm going to say this is going to be a little bit darker. There we go. Then we know this is all dark in here, like that. Yes, yes. We'll do the next one. So, let's see. My glasses keep falling off, but that's all right. Let's see. This one is sort of interesting because it's sort of dark in between these.
So this time, instead of doing the little pine cone part, you're doing the spaces.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing the spaces in between, at least some of them. And then I'm going to take a little bit of burnt sienna and just do the pine cone part. There you go. We can refine these a little bit later, but there's a lot of spaces on these. We get a little leeway. So they're kind of almost like little hats, aren't they? With the little kind of rounded at the bottom, the sort of little shape. So pay attention to the shapes because that'll make the most sense to you if you do that. There you go. Let's just see. Get down here, kind of flat on the bottom, make this a little bigger. All right, now this one is a little bit different in that we're just going to paint the shapes. You don't want globs of paint on your brush. We're going to go ahead and paint the shapes here. Just kind of rough them in. And I mean, this is really, this is we're not trying to do detail. We're not photocopying the world here. We're just going to suggest these pine cones by just doing these shapes. That's what we're working on today is shapes. The shape is that it goes up to a triangle at the top, kind of curves at the bottom. And what do we have to know to paint this pine cone? Not a lot. We just have to generally vaguely come up with some sort of shape for this. Yes and yes. Okay, so we got
You gotta have a start.
We gotta have a start, right? And then where it's kind of fudged, which is sort of fun, we'll just put snow. Wherever you sort of lost your pine cone, maybe some snow happened to it, and then you'll be okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes and yes. So been ready to do a drawing so I can draw this.
Oh, we're gonna try that again.
We're gonna try a drawing, you guys, for 2 weeks ago. And John's gonna try to do that. I'm gonna get into some very dark uh paint here, maybe just something really dark, and just kind of fill in some of these dark little holes here. Remember, the outside of your pine cone is jaggedy. Does that make sense? It's jaggedy. It's not just a complete loop. If you make it totally round like that, it won't look like your pine cone. You've got to have these little points sticking out on the sides, these little point thingies. Yes and yes. I'm going to get rid of some of these dark shapes, dark areas here. John, are you ready to do a drawing so I can draw this?
I am so ready. I'm like one with you.
All right, so I'm going to draw this, you guys. Ha! And then John's going to do this nifty drawing. And then...
We're going to be drawing for...
Do I have it? The Salvador Paint set?
Got one hanging around over there somewhere.
Well, I have one here I could show, maybe. Possibly.
Could be.
Perhaps.
You never know.
Yeah. I really like this one. It's when we travel, John and I use these, and this is just great. This is a 24 professional premium acrylic paints. 24, 4 ounces each tube. Really nice. Couple tubes of white. This is a great set. Oh no, this is the smaller one with the brushes. This has the brush set.
That's the brush set one.
This has got the brushes and everything. Oh, guys, this is great. Wait till you see this. So these are smaller tubes, but they've got the brushes and everything.
There's the brushes set to go.
Yeah.
We got a lot of paintings out of that when we were doing the...
Oh, the quintessential journey. When we did the COVID painted every day during 2020 for like 2 months, we didn't even dent a set of these.
They were good. All right, let's mute the queen. We silenced her. Let's go over to our random drawing right here. And we will be bringing up the lesson with the Santa. Copy the URL. And we're going to be doing Salvador kit. The 2 words for palm tree and Salvador kit. We're going to do a Salvador kit for this one. So put the YouTube link in there. No duplicate, supplies work, and specific text. And it is Salvador kit. Get them. Had 48 people participate in this one. If you're one of those 48, you have a good opportunity. Should I bring you back, boss?
One.
Kelly Davis won the Salvador kit.
Oh, Kelly, go girl. Yes and yes. All right. Remember, you got to get a hold of us.
Apparently she entered it a couple of times because she didn't spell it right. Because, oh my, Salvador kit. Maybe I'll get it right in one day. Well, you did this time, kiddo. You got 10 days to get in touch with us. Use the contact us form on acrylic painting with gingercook.com.
Okay, so now
Kelly Davis, again, the winner of the Salvador kit.
I've got a little of this light color. I'm going to do sort of a burnt sienna, a little bit of light yellow and burnt sienna kind of color. And we're going to come on up here like this. Let's try that. Do we like that? Maybe not. Let's try kind of a cad orange light. Let's try that. There we go. And we'll leave some of the brown showing on the bottom. And just come up here like this with the, keep that triangle shape going. Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to some of our friends who are watching today. We have a lot of viewers from India, and Janity is one of them, and I want to say hi to her. And we got I want to say hi to Kim from who just got back from a fabulous cruise to the Caribbean. She did really good. She said she had a wonderful time, and So we think that that's kind of neat. And so we want to say hi to her. And we want to say hi to our friend Judy is still in the hotel waiting for the insurance company to do something about her place. And it's been like weeks. And so at some point, we're not going to talk about it tonight, but at some point we'll trash her insurance company for you to say what that was about, because we think that's just unacceptable. She's been moderated. Now, the reason I mentioned Judy is because she's stuck in this hotel for Christmas, and because of COVID, can't see family and stuff. And some of you may be in the same position so we're going to encourage you to look at our new releases. If you've got nothing to do Christmas week, join the Academy and look at some of our new releases and paint a little bit, right? Take some time to paint something, maybe take some time off. We've explained to our mods that the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after are no fault. Nobody has to be there on Facebook. Somebody wants to be, they can. But if you are planning on posting anything on Facebook or having any questions, like you can't find a tutorial, whatever, you may get your question answered, you may not, because they're taking those days off. And John and I are going to be working all of the week of Christmas to New Year's on revamping our studio. So we will get to personal art coaching and emails probably once a day. Okay, we're going to just kind of step back a little bit from that. We never take a day off completely, because we can't. But I know that sounds crazy, but we'd like to pretend like we do. It never happens, right? So it's not, we're not going to leave anybody hanging, right? But we encourage you guys to take advantage of, if you have any questions and need some help, use the contact us. And if you don't hear back, there's a chance your email went to spam. For those of you who don't know what that is, it says it on your email thing. It says spam. And look in that folder. And maybe because a lot of times people say, well, I never heard back from you. Well, you did, but
check your spam.
Check your spam. See, you did, but you got to check your spam. So this is just Cad Orange Light. And again, you see, I want to leave the bottom of the triangle kind of not painted in here. And we're just gonna highlight these a bit like that, and there'll be probably something over here too, and we won't talk about it.
What? Probably. Well, it looks like there is now.
Okay.
There's no probably there, lady.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. Come on, you guys, this is so easy, isn't it? I mean, aren't you glad you just hung out with us, right?
Hung out with us twice.
Yeah, exactly. So, right?
How many people found it?
So let's just come up a little lighter now. Let's do a little bit bolder here. Come up with some sort of lighter color. Now, can we get away with that? Yeah, look at that. That's layer number 3. Yes, there's some highlights on these suckers, and here they are, right? Gonna lighten that up. Nothing is ever just
one color.
One color. Nothing is. There's always a highlight. Where's your highlights? Ask yourself that question when you're painting something. Where's my lights and darks? I recently did some personal art coaching for a gal, and in the art coaching, I said, okay, when you look at the picture, before you ever start, ask yourself, where's the light coming from? Even if it's a cloudy day, something's got to be lighter than something else. Kind of in your mind, notice what that is. It's like this. If it's kind of coming from the top, so the top of a ball would be lighter than on the underneath side, or something like that, or maybe it's from the side. But take a note of this. This is kind of. I'm not really sure. When I look at my photo on here, it's the lights are sort of kind of coming from the top down.
So that was asked by Susan. John, is Ginger going to have a light source on it? It's top down. So you have different shadows.
It also depends on the photographer, you guys, because they may decide to have 2 lights on it, and so don't be confused. It could happen.
Well, I believe this is really outdoor natural.
Oh, well, God could do it then. You don't know.
But you're right. I mean, when you do studio shooting, there are 2 light sources typically, or reflective light or something. So you want to be aware of that.
Yeah, just be aware of it. Maybe over here. Here's a little those two light. We don't want white here. Okay. Here we go. A little bit more orange. I like that bright orange color. There we go. See, I'm just sort of
Adding another layer.
just another quick layer of stuff. Yeah, a little quick layer of this and that, right? There you go. So starting to feel pine coney. Yes and yes. I don't know. Can you feel pine coney? Here about some red and yellow. Let's do that. Let's just do a different red. Let's get some brighter. Let's make this a little bit. Let's give a little more color to some of these. Let's take some cad red medium. Come up here on some of these, and there we go. A little more festive, yes and yes. Gotta wipe the brush off there so we have a little more control over it. These little Bristol-on brushes, this is a 3/8 inch, and I gotta tell you guys, it's great. Now, we don't know. We know between, we'll be live again next Monday and actually do a show. Assuming we're live next Monday, we're doing a show, right?
Yeah.
We'll do a show next Monday, and hopefully we'll have better internet connection. You would think, right?
Well, tentatively we're going to say that, but that is our rebuild the studio week. So
yeah, but we'll let everybody know.
Yeah.
Now, if you were you've got to watch out for our newsletters because we always tell you, right? And
we do our best to.
We do our best to get this up, and if you'll be so kind as to just share the videos with people, put it in share and email blast it out to everybody you know. Like, oh, that's them again. They're trying to help Ginger out, and they're another one of their emails. Yeah, that they can live with it. Just do it for us. Okay. So, see, we got the pine cones, right? We'll do a few more here too. But let's just take a little bit of dark now and put it. Let's just come back and kind of reshape something. We can do that too. I love painting stuff like this, and it's always fun to do something different. And there's always the challenge, you see, of, have you ever painted this before? No, let's do it. Let's do it. See, and kind of, get that dark shape in there going in between, right? And now they're starting to look more like pine cones. This side's more in shadow, right up in here. And then we had, as I recall, we had a little bit of darker green up here, kind of a blue-green. That'd be phthalo blue and yellow with maybe a bit of brown in it. And then between here, like up in here, we've got a little shadowy side right here like that. Get something dark up going in here. And something dark. Oh, let's put some zinc white here. Let's pull some lighter color out this way from these. That's nice, right? That's that dark green I made. Now we're gonna pull some out. Yeah, oh, I love that color. Don't you guys love that color? Like right up in here, I'm gonna put a little shadow color. It's gonna be over here like so, and over here like so. And you're going, gosh, she's so messy. No, it's called painting loose, yes? Loose, painting loose. So we can make this a little darker right there. There we go. Now what happens? Well, lots happened. One of the things that's not a bad thing to have happen, and let's put a little bit of this blue color in here too, on our shadows, is we could put a little snow. And how brave do we want to be? Hmm?
I think it would be brave.
All right, so let's just say, for sake of argument, that we have some snow. There's a little bit of that color still on my brush. And we're going to come around here like this and tap in some snow. This is the next thing. It's a little bit lighter, right? Right in here like that. We're going to say right in front of these, a little bit lighter. It's not totally white, but it's kind of. Okay, and then back up in here like that.
Hey, we'd like to thank Janny for the donation that came in through the PayPal system. Thank you, Miss Janny.
Oh, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. This is the time of year when, everybody I know, because of Christmas and everything and the holidays and seeing family and maybe buying plane tickets and going somewhere, and it can be a bit of a challenging time. So I know it's a thing, and so we appreciate it very much because your generosity is greatly appreciated. I know it's a challenge. Here we go. We're going to tap this on so it's kind of bumpy, right? There's our snow thing in here like that, little bumpy snow. It's feeling good, right? Yeah, let's see. White, let's in here like this. Come on, white paint. That's our next layer of snow burst. How about something over in here like this? Put a little green with that. Not quite so white. Kind of sneak that in around here where the snow's been. Kind of sneak some in around the pine cones. Like it's snowed and maybe melted off. Yes and yes.
It does that.
Yeah, it does. And the gold's pretty, isn't it? You can still see the gold. It still looks pretty good, right? And
good.
Let's see. We need some more snow in here like this. Over that darker green color that we did right there, like that. Now, with an angle brush, you have to be careful because you can get a straight line. If you use the tip, you can sort of dot it and make it less straight. Because the angle brush will want to make a very straight line for you. So kind of tip it a little bit when you're doing this brush thing, so that you're not doing that. There, yeah. And then in here like this. Let's do that. Just do some of these. Yeah, okay. All right. Now we're going to do the dark green. So you got one more drawing you can do so I can dry this white?
I do have one more drawing.
Oh my gosh, we have one more drawing. I'm excited.
For the gift certificate?
A gift certificate, yes. And because it's Christmas, it's going to be $100 gift certificate.
Get out of town.
$100 gift certificate.
Did you talk to the accounting department?
Yeah, it's going to be a $100 gift certificate for downloadable lessons. If you want to buy one, you want to buy two, it's going to be a $100 gift certificate for Christmas week.
So somebody's going to win a $100 gift certificate right here. In fact,
John's, two people are going to win it.
We're giving two away?
Two away. You're going to do a drawing for two people.
Oh, my. You better talk to Ellie about all this. Man.
Yeah, two people are going to get it. So I'm drawing. I'd be excited because it could be you, right?
All right, you're going to mute mode. You have to silence that woman. Let me bring you back, folks. Back to the drawing. And we need to change it to, what was it, palm trees? Palm tree. A single palm tree, as it were. Let's change this to palm tree. And get the comments. 49. We have very good odds of winning a $100 gift certificate for a downloadable lesson. The first one is going to go to, and I can never say her name, Letty Sorgi. I think it's Letty Sorgi. LettiesGroy. Please use the contact us, Letty, and let us know what you've won, and we'll set you up. And we're going to pick another winner.
Okay, one more. Am I back?
Here we go.
Did you put me back?
I'm afraid I did.
Oh, good. Hi, I'm back. I'm back.
And the second winner of a $100 gift certificate goes to PJ. PJ, I know you're out there.
Congratulations.
So, PJ, use to contact us and do remind us what you've won, please. And thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for all this participating. You might ask, how do you participate? And Ginger will say,
okay, so what we have at the end of the show is we're going to leave a couple secret words, and then with the hashtag, and you've got to, when you make a comment, we'll ask, about the show and what you liked and all that stuff, right? Then we're going to ask you to just put those, if you'd like to win a Salvador Paint kit, we can no longer deliver those outside the United States. So the Salvador company is having trouble with mailing because it comes directly from them. So it has to be someone in the United States. Canada okay, or just the United States, John?
Just U.S., not
Just
even
the
Canada.
US right now, not even
They
Canada.
can't get them out of the United States.
But the downloadable lessons, of course, we can. So
Anywhere in the world, even Mars.
So anyway,
Yeah.
and we don't care if you won before. If you get really lucky and you see it's very random, I'd say buy a lottery ticket if you're winning all the time.
PJ went to her Buster party. She had to go somewhere. Oh, PJ, I hope you watch this.
Okay, so I'm going to be going ahead and doing this one.
Oh, this is looking good so far. You guys liking this painting? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
did you have any idea it's going to look like this when she started?
Okay, so we're going to do this using the dark green.
Doing the pine needles.
We're doing the pine needles. Put a little orange.
Which angle are you doing?
This is the 3/8 inch.
3/8?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful job.
And it's just kind of pull and lift up, push harder and then lift up and reload every couple of times. And right, you want to make sure that you're reloading. Do the starburst there, and let's just let's see, we want something dark in here and a little bit darker coming out of here like this. And watch the angles that you go. Just watch the angles, kind of, you can overdo it, but I'm sure you won't. And we want some little shorter ones coming this way. This is why you want to layer all these things, you guys. You want to totally layer it so that it makes sense to you when you paint it. Paint it in here. So we'll put some longer ones here, like that. And the longest ones are going to be right here in front. It's going to be kind of darker here, and then next to this pine cone, we're going to say it's a little bit darker here, coming down this way. And if you need to, dampen the brush and then reshape it. A lot of brushes will do this. It doesn't have to just be this one. But when you're doing something like this, you start with the darkest colors first and the lighter ones go on top. You don't do some light and then some dark, because you'll end up with just one color then. And you don't want to dry in between if you can. You want to come off the canvas in a few places if you can. Come all the way off the canvas like that, so that you're doing that. And the same thing up here like this. I want this a little darker up in here. Now that it dried, something up this way. Now I'm going to rinse the brush and do it again. And here's why, because the paint's drying in the brush too. Did you know that? That's a little tip. Your paint dries in your brush and that doesn't work very well anymore. So you got to just reload it. Okay. You'll get if it's slightly damp is when you're going to get the best results. Okay. Slightly damp. And there.
Hey, we'd like to thank Tammy for the donation that came in through PayPal.
Oh, Tammy, thank you so much.
Ginger and John, I ran out of time mailing out cards, but I wanted to wish you both a very Merry Christmas, a wonderful New Year. Looking forward to more great lessons. Love, Missy Tammy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so now I'm going into lighter colors. I'm going into white and yellow and maybe a little yellow oxide, a tiny bit of green with that, not much. Here, let's just mix it on the plate so you can see it. I want this sort of gold color, a little white in it, and a little more yellow, and just a teeniest bit of green.
This is a 12 by 12 canvas for those that are asking. Yes,
yeah, the 12 by 12 canvas, because you need something a little bit bigger.
This would really be hard to do on 6 by 6.
Yeah, I think so, because you've got some leeway here. We've got some nice. See, we've got some nice gold coming on top of here like this. See what we're doing? And then it gets all get something coming out this way. Make sure I have enough yellow on there.
What is ha? I know a heart hugs is, but that's just H. What's the extra H for?
Happy art hugs. Ha.
Ha. Happy
art hugs. Happy art hugs. See, because you could have heart hugs that would be
not happy.
Maybe they weren't happy. Something sad happened, and you give them an art hug, But happy art hugs are happy. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Good questions. Good questions are had by all.
A couple of people found us after our first episode and wanted to know, is that metallic gold base for the background? I missed the beginning.
It is. It's a metallic gold base. It's done. It's Daniel Smith. Last year we did about 4 paintings on YouTube using this, and I think a couple in the Academy. We just keep it turned around, right? And the stuff isn't free, man. They want a lot for this, in
It's
my
real
opinion.
gold.
But we've got like 3/4 of the jar left, and so we figured, what the heck, or at least 2/3. We would do some more with it. But if you didn't have that, you could just use some sort of gold, like yellow oxide paint. It'd be all right too. Yeah.
I like the brightness of the real gold, though.
Well, I do too. I do too.
I guess that's why we did it.
Well, we debated that. I mean, I've never done it before, so we debated that. And I'm going into yellow, cad yellow, because that's my next light color here. You see that?
We really didn't debate it too long.
No, we just kind of talked about it, just chatted just the other day about
that makes sense.
how to do this, right?
We do discuss things before we do them.
And it seemed like this was the best plan. Seemed like it anyway. So this is sort of a starburst pattern out in the center like this. See? It's going out of the center of these. Like so. And then I want a little bit of white in here. I want this a slightly lighter, even still like that. And then something down in here like this. A little bit up here. Okay, so now what we got to do, I'm going to show you what you don't want to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to put some dark back in a couple places. So what I'm going to do is I'll mix color on the canvas and just use blue because it's going over wet yellow. It'll be okay.
You'll get your green.
I'll get my dark green because I'm going to mix on the canvas because that seemed prudent. I like that word, prudent.
I like prudent.
Okay, so I got that. Now, while that's drying, rinsey, we're going to take some white and a little bit of cad red light and white.
Could you use that gold gesso for an accent on top of the painting, or does it always have to be a gesso underneath the painting?
I think you could. I think you could even put gold on these pine cones if you wanted. I want something a little lighter here on a couple of them.
Especially if you're going to varnish it when you're done, because the gesso has a little bit of a tooth to it. It's a flat surface.
See, I want something a little bit brighter here. I'm just going to add a little bit few more colors here. Acrylics dry darker, so kind of on the edges of these, I'm tapping in some lighter colors. Up here like that. And I want to make sure at the end I put my highlights in. Okay. And really they're just little triangles with kind of a curved at the bottoms. I want something lighter here in a couple of these. Just a few little highlights. I'm telling you what, it makes such a difference. And you have a cheat sheet, which is this. This tells you where the highlights go. See that? You can kind of see where they're going. Yes, you can see. So you don't have to make it up. You've got that. So I don't have to make it up. I'm looking at this on the computer, right to my right where you can't see it. That's what I'm looking at. You see me looking up all the time. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking up on that, and I want to add the highlights to our pine cones. And there we go. Neat. Yes and yes. And again, each one's slightly different shape. They're not exactly all the same. This top one is a little what I would call tighter in that it seems to have more red in the up here at the top, in between here a little bit. And this one's got some brighter red over here. We'll just, again, just touch up a few little colors there. Let's just a few little shapes there. And then I want a very, very bright green. And that's one thing about, we'll say about this the Salvador kits is that they have some very, very bright colors. Yeah.
Yeah, they got some great colors in there.
But phthalo green is one of those colors that want something very bright. It's like one of your brightest greens. And if you, like, for instance, if I were to take some white paint here and yellow and phthalo green and just mix it right here so you could see it. You see how bright that is? And I'll put some more yellow with it. You see how absolutely beautifully bright that is? Now that's too bright for a pine tree. See, that's way too bright. But if you add a little bit of kind of red in it, okay, now I've got a bright green that's toned down a little bit. It's almost a lime, isn't it? So we'll just kind of flatten out the brush and we'll see if I can put a little of this color. That's going to show up a little bit. There you go. I want a little bit more of this color out this way. A little bit more of that color. And then I want a little bit of more golds up this way. Like this. Okay, so far so good. Yeah. And no, there's more. Let's try white. Let's try some white. And now there you go. Let's try a little bit of this white and phthalo green. Look what happens. Because that is just, there you go. That's my lighter color that I'm looking for. Just in a couple places where my snow is going. Try a little bit of white. There we go. Just pull some white back like that. Ha! Fun, yeah? Now, if we do more white, and hardly any of that color, we're going to just give us another coat of white right up in here. We're going to tap on another layer in here around our pine cones where the snow is. Want them to show up a little more. So if you got overconfident and you did too many little piney things, little boughs, you can put a little bit of white back. And you've got a little bit of an area here where you've got just where the snow's kind of melting in. It's got a kind of more of a bank here. I'm using just see, even in here, like for instance on here, do you see where that's do you see in here where that's like a little shadow side? So if I do this, I can make a little shadow side on that color. Maybe up in here. There you go. There we go, like that. So just pull that out. And we're just about done, don't you think, John?
I think so.
I think we're just about absolutely done. What is going to be I know that everyone's going to have a wonderful holiday. I certainly hope so. Yeah. So, going to come in here and darken these a little bit. Shape up a couple. You don't have to shape all of them, but if you shape a few, it makes a difference. So I think the question we're going to ask is, it can't be a New Year's question because we're not ready for that, right? What was your favorite holiday decor painting that you did this year? If you did any of our YouTube ones or Academy ones, did you have a particular favorite? I think that's a good question, don't you, John?
Actually, that's a good question.
Did you have a particular favorite? There you go. There's our picture. And I'm still going back here and just kind of cementing in some of this dark green here. And I think one of my favorites I gotta say, one of my favorites. We hardly anybody watched our Santa. Only a couple thousand views on that. I couldn't believe it. On our Santa on the beach with the looking at the um at the um
The
at the
cruise
cruise
ship.
ship. But I really quite like that one, you guys. There we go. But I hope that maybe there was one that you really liked, and we hope so. Are there any questions I can ask before I finish this off? Answer, John. I don't want to ask
Nothing's
them.
coming through, my queenness.
Nothing's coming through. Like I say, we'll put this up. We'll have to put this up again.
Yeah.
Which is going to kill
So
our views on it.
Don't comment on this one because you have to re-comment on the final one.
Yeah, we're going to have to put this up again because it got lost, you know, because we lost.
Broke.
It broke, right? It just, you know, can't. Let's see, you got to go green here. All right. Now, rinsing. If you've had green on the brush, you probably ought to rinse it a few times, right? And the reason you use a white cloth like this is so you can see if there's still color on your brush.
Especially if you play with that phthalo. That's
yes.
Nice.
So I'm looking for a very nice light color, not quite white.
That's not white. I mean, close to white.
And I'm putting just the last few highlights on these, a couple places, because they sort of disappeared on me. And same thing over here. Let's just do a couple more. And the best time to do this would be to dry it first. So, you know, whenever you can, dry your pictures. I would say that would be that what you if you could take away anything from this is make a point of drying the stuff that you're doing so that you have your nice highlights. And there we go. Back into the snow.
Yeah, I would wait a day to make a comment. Wait for the final release of this video.
Think so? Yeah, maybe so, huh?
Yeah. Because we can't have them both up there.
No.
I'll try to get it done tonight and get compiled and put up. So it should be up tomorrow.
This is just bright orange color right there. There we go. So that, you guys, is our picture.
Painted.
And someone would want to know, could you come back and somebody wanted to know that. Could you come back with this, say, and maybe add some gold paint or something, right? So if I went into the lid of this, would you put a gold highlight on any of these? You could.
Of course you would.
You could just because you could, right? Because it's a kind of a holiday type painting. Yeah. Not everywhere, just in a couple places. Don't overdo it. Chickens. Look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. That's kind of neat, right? That feels so holiday, doesn't it?
It screams it. It's ginger cloth, a terry cloth towel. Yes. It's
yeah.
Cheap shop rags we get at
Costco
or Amazon. Just a cotton cloth.
Not doing all of them, just doing a couple. But there you go. I think that really adds to it. Don't you guys think so? Well, I had this vision in my head of what this ought to look like.
How did it come out?
And when I think about it, I think it did. If you think about it, this is what we started with. Okay. And I think this is what we have. And that's exactly what I was thinking I wanted to paint. That was what I had in mind. Well, I hope you guys hope this is easy for you too. I think it will be. Just remember the shapes of stuff. I can't stress that enough. Try not to outline, but if you need to just put something in to, you know, solidify one, like in a couple places, you can do that with a pen. But you don't want to do that. You want to have it nice and loose. And we're going to sign it right here with what color paint. Okay, so all right, next week we're going to be doing Monday. We're going to
possibly it's still in the air.
still in the air.
Right.
So if we don't do the drawing next week, it'll be the following New
Right.
Year's. But
Yeah.
there will be a drawing for you guys that are watching tonight. There'll be some sort of contest. It will be some downloadable lessons and Salvador Paint kit for those of you who are.
And the secret words are up there on the screen at the moment.
And just
So once we get the final video up and on, do your comments then.
yeah, probably so. I think I'm going to do just a little black pen here because I don't think anything else would show up. There you go. I'm going to sign that there. And listen, if we don't talk to you before the holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody. And be sure to laugh because we got to make up for those guys that have been told for 11 days there is no laughter allowed. How they enforce it.
I can't even believe that.
I have no idea how they're going to enforce it, but we're going to laugh more just to kind of balance the planet because there's a whole little country that's been forbidden to laugh for 11 days.
I just don't get it. Doesn't seem possible, people. So to everyone, a very Merry
Christmas. And if my grandkids are watching, hi, Luna, Spider, and Honey, and Linda Sue. See you guys, and Merry Christmas.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ginger Cook, the queen of color, with a blazing brush at the speed of light, and a blank canvas, and a hearty yes and yes. The queen of color, Ginger Cook, and her sidekick, John Little, teach you to paint with acrylics.